Not too loud. It's a bit loud for me. It's probably nicely audible for everyone else. Cool match. Urian versus anyone is cool. Hugo's pretty fun to watch. One of my favorites. Urian can put up a decent little wall. I mean, very literally, he can put up a wall better than any other Street Fighter character. But metaphorically speaking, to zone Hugo, he can halt the approach decently well. Headbutt's a good weapon in this matchup. All headbutts are safe versus Hugo because he can't crouch them, so he has to parry them. On block they're safe, but on whiff they're not. But certain characters can't crouch them, one of which is Hugo. That also makes EX Headbutt a nice launcher in this matchup. Oh, it's Temporal Thunder! Hugo looks like he can't punish that. I've never even, like, I'd never even interact with Temporal Thunder on block. No Urian picks this. That's novel. Look how short the bar is. It's actually a lot smaller than I remember. Builds pretty quick. All of Urian's supers are, ooh, Temporal Thunder Chip, maybe? Might be a thing in the future. Can't just do it from far out because it's an easy parry. Even if you never interact with it, it's probably just like 5 parries. So just parry until you get stopped. I'm here for you. Think you can rock? Can you rock confirm tackle into super? I don't actually know. Maybe not. Q can do that, but I don't know about Urian. Yo, empty jump low. Look at all that dizzy. That super does mad dizzy. He for sure could have shaken out of that. Wow, that was bad. That was really bad. There's probably a juggle there. Tackle. Tackle would have worked for sure. Oh. Chip is a factor soon. Anti-air fireball into... Oh my god, that was a mess. Hugo should have just thrown him into the corner. I was going to say anti-air fireball into super or anti-air super was going to be a thing very quickly. There it was. It was a super jump, so it was even easier. But Urian could trade favorably there. Temporal Thunder Urian for the Hugo matchup. Now it's SA1! Yo! Yo! Which one is SA2? Oh, like Sonic Adventure 2? Just because it supports all Dreamcast games? Does it support all Dreamcast games? I have unpleasant memories of doing the treasure hunting races where I would be actually looking for the pieces, and the person I was playing against, which I think was like my brother, was just spamming, ooh, he had a second parry. He was just spamming dig and digging up rings and then using the various attacks on me. He was shitty. We got the fucking SA1 and SA2 Urian. Yo, it looks good! Wow. First time chat and this guy calls me the fuck out. What do you want me to say? I'm gay? I was going to say something about this match and I forgot what it was. It was about Hugo. I like half finished a thought and then forgot about it. Nice. That was deliberate, I think, to corner. Show me a video of you getting it repeatedly, and I'll eat my own face. This is SA2. No, never mind. I mistook the bars. I was like, what the fuck is this SA2 Dudley? One long bar. That's Hugo Super Meter. These are both fairly ordinary supers. Hugo might pick SA3 in this matchup sometimes. It really depends on the Hugo. You can go either way. Probably go SA2 as well. Hugo supers are all pretty good. People I think underrated SA2 a little bit. It's not too hard to confirm. And it does kind of give Hugo some neat stuff. Ooh. That's the problem with SA1 Hugo, is that like he got a clean jump in, there was just nothing to do. Alright, cool. Oh my god. I would have went for the red parry there, and he might have. You had to go for the red parry to get a punish. But actually, you didn't because it didn't even connect. You had any punish there. He went for red parry there. That was nice. Nice. Empty jump 720. That's what he could have done that one time he got the clean jump in, but, you know, hindsight's 2020. It's hard to recognize that in the moment. Oof. I'd be killing myself if I was that Dudley right now. I recorded a macro to do Dan Red fireballs. Frame perfect. And it just came out randomly as fireball or red fireball. So I don't know if there's an input that can like reliably get them or if it's just luck. Because for 100% certainty this macro is always doing the same input. It might be if you do them in the right rhythm, they get repeated red fireballs. Because there was something like that with Shenko in MVC3. If they just do it on a cycle of frames to get the red fireball. But I think if it's on a cycle of frames, then the infinite would reliably drop after so-and-so reps. Whoa! Dudley had a kill combo there. Round start shoulder. It's SA2 Yun. Anti-Shoto gave me hell with an SA2 Yun just recently. SA2 is not bad. It's not as broken as Gene, but it's actually still a good super. It's slightly worse Gene. The meter is about the same size. The damage is similar. The startup and range are similar. Yun's setups are a bit different. He doesn't have like the overhead link or anything. Well, he does have overhead link to super, but it's not as good. He just dropped low short super. He has to do like universal overhead link super, and that's not as good as Ken's back medium kick. The super actually, cool gamer fact. Yun SA2 holds more meter than any other super in the game. It's the longest 3-bar super. It might be tied with something else in that category though. So if you like Yun's EX moves, and they're not horrible, you can play with them here. Oh, he's got the nice TC to confirm the super I was going to say, just like Ken. You got double low. You got various plus frame normals you can link super after. You get it? Yep. Nice. Overhead link super. Nice command grab super. Ken doesn't have that. The range is not as good as Shippu. It's good, but it's not as good as Shippu. Shippu's nuts. It goes like half screen almost. Whoa. That has quite a lot of whiff. Hello. I'm doing okay. Doing a lot of work in my game and not a lot of fighting game content right now, sorry. On the plus side, my game like is finally starting to make some real tracks. Although I lament that not enough interest in it as I would, not as much interest in it as I would like. I think you can do 2 hits of TC into I think I know what happened there, I'm not sure. Yum walked in and did strong fierce and that looked really strange. But I think on crouching opponent, strong fierce Dan. I think on crouching opponent, strong fierce links to into SA2. And I think he did low parry, walk in, strong fierce, trying to catch the crouching Dudley, but Dudley like was standing by the time he got the punish, I think. Crookie, did you see my sick falling blocks that I posted on Twitter? Dude, it's a Dan. I actually genuinely do not remember if Dan has the same health as Ryu and Ken. I think there's like a list of HP in the game, and then I looked at it and it was wrong. Oh yeah, I called him a Dan. He's a Sean. My bad. Same thing. I was talking about Dan in the chat. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I think he does have the same HP as Ryu and Ken. I think I said it erroneously in the video I made for Bad Balance Sean, and then no one corrected me. I actually don't remember though. I'm gonna have to go and test it again. He either has the same HP as Ryu and Ken or slightly less, the same HP as Oro. But I genuinely do not remember what it is. Suzy Bar is the same as Ryu and Ken. That's a free parry. Just an inexperienced thing. That move is really bad unless it catches an anti-air, in which case it's decent. It's quite good as an anti-air. The problem is you can't like reliably use it as an anti-air because it's too slow to come out on reaction to a jump. So you just have to do it and hope they jump. And if they don't jump, they parry you. Ooh, there you go. This is how you play Sean. That's like the most decent thing he has. It's very difficult to... It's like exactly like the roll from like... I was going to say, it's exactly like the Laura dash V skill. Or like the Ken dash V skill. It's like that. It's like it's minus, but if you don't react, you get mixed. And there's also the possibility that he just doesn't attack instead of like doing the dash. Which makes it even that much more difficult. The Sean's playing pretty well. Also, it's SA3. I used to think SA3 was the worst super, but now I think it's matchup dependent. I generally say it's better than SA2 in just about all matchups. But whether it's better than SA1 is hard to say. I think SA1 is probably better than SA3. My understanding of Dan has changed a lot since I played one a lot and since I made Bad Balance Dan. Well, not like since I did the research to make it, not since I made the video. The video is still pretty accurate. Whoa. But before I made the video, I knew very little about Dan compared to after I made the video. Oh, did I say Dan again? I'm just fucking tired, I don't know. Yeah, Sean. It is an accident. It's been an accident every time. That's weird, I don't normally do that. I'm just high. He could have come down with a button. It's difficult though. Oh, nice. He probably wanted close strong, I would guess. Close strong TC perhaps? There was nothing really to do after that close strong. Maybe EX spin kick, I guess. Not very good to go for. You don't really want to do EX spin kick when you're like at chip health, since it's minus like 1 on hit or whatever. Ooh, caught a dash. Can drop the combo, but in a decent way. Sean is kind of cool. He could have confirmed. Ooh, what's optimal here? That's yeah, that's gotta be optimal. Yeah, the taunt. See, it kind of like ruined his media, I feel. I feel like you gotta either have the basketball or a meaty. It's kind of hard to have both. It just takes too long to recover. It's not the lose Rose. That's like his longest knockdown too. Well, the longest knockdown SA3 Sean has. The psych out tactic, just doing nothing. Wow, it worked. Managed to catch him with a wheel kick. Sean's novel. That low strong is exactly the same as Ryu and Ken's. All three of them have exactly the same low strong. Huh? Was that a super? You try to do low strong link super? I'm sure that works, thinking about it. That's gotta be a link. If that works, that's actually decent. That's like Ken Shifu. But that super is like 2 frame, I think, and it goes all the way across the screen. It's slower if it has to go further, but it's like from low strong range, it probably links, I would guess. And low strong should be like +4 or something if it's the same as Ken's. I don't remember what Ken's is. +3. Something like that. Somewhere between +3 and +5. Ugh. You hate to see it. If that was parried, Sean won. Tap forward, stem roundhouse super. I would call Ken zoning not great. But, ooh, why'd that fail? Should have picked a bigger version, I guess. Ken's damage output is really nice in this matchup, and EX Tatsu is really nice. Yes. It depends on how he's played. You don't see it very often, so like it's very likely I'm gonna run into some shit I've never seen when watching a Sean play. Sort of. He's not exactly a tech deep character. That was super shitty. That dash in into the overhead. Like they just wasn't meaty at all. Ooh, nice. That's crouching hit too. A little bit of extra damage on the low forward. Unfortunately, Ken's wow, what a read. Ken landed way before that, and Hugo still immediately shot down because he knew that Ken would be predicting SA1 or something. That probably should have been super. Doesn't really matter. SPD is still good to land. Also, it could have been jump down hard punch, like crouch jab EX lariat or something. Will that reach? Yeah. It was like right on the tip. Actually, I think it could have even been further than that, still caught. Ah, not a bad idea. This is over. This is like impossible for Ken to come back from. Ken has decent burst damage, but the chances of him trading were just, you know, it's hard to get that momentum mid-screen. There we go. That's a nice little jumping combo. A lot of stun on that. It's interesting that he went for stand strong instead of low forward, but honestly, you don't really even get that good of a meaty low forward with low forward. So it doesn't really matter that you didn't get the knockdown. Like, the knockdown is, like, you know, not really a factor there. You could probably parry at the end of that. Hugo's neutral's not bad. He can actually play like buttons with other characters. Ooh. He's got very long limbs. Whoa. Low forward and stand strong. Nice, there it is. After the shoot down backbreaker call out, this time he's just like, yeah, fuck you. Here's my SPD. Here's my Gigas. Wow. Whiff punish on the clap. That's quite a long move by duration. It just has next to no recovery. But if it's whiff punishing, it is absolutely feasible. That was nice though to be watching for it. Oh! Very nice. Ah, immediate low forward. Classic. That was the unique animation for getting swept during forward dash. It cornered Hugo. Oh, the perfect walk-in block trying to... Ken was trying to catch a whiff cancel. Trying to buffer it. A 2-in-1. An empty cancel, if you will. And Hugo managed to perfectly walk and block so that it was actually blocked. Instead of just whiffing and being buffered. I pulled that stunt myself many times. A trick I like to do, it doesn't work for that particular link. But a trick I like to do is universal overhead when my opponent's doing buffered cancels, and then they cancel activates when I'm midair. It catches a lot of people off guard. But I only, you know, I mean, universal overhead's not a horrible tool in neutral for all anyway. I like how they added it as a fucking button in SF3. Not horrible either. I thought it was horrible at first, and then it turns out it's actually decent. Due to reasons I'm sure they didn't predict. You can whiff it during various Tengu Stone strings to get the stones to hit without the normal hitting, which doesn't seem to add juggle potential. You can do some weird stuff with that that adds damage during Tengu Stone juggles. Whoa, that was the towards Roundhouse. Oh, but anyway, like if Dudley's doing stand Roundhouse, cancel to EX machine gun blow. I can universal overhead into it, eat the stand Roundhouse, and then get reset into the machine gun blow, which I can then block or parry. Nice. Getting schmicks. Hugo had all the right reads. Was that low forward? It should have been low short, right? Hi. My content is beloved. That was a standing 720! Yo! Wait, go back! He might have buffered some of it during the grab. I doubt it. It looked so long between the grab and the standing 720. That had to be a full 720, I think. And by full 720, I mean like a 540 or whatever it is. That's so cool to see that. It's not too hard in this game. I can do it in this game. And yet, it's still very impressive. Very cool. It's very easy in this game because if you hit down then up, you get a super jump. And when you super jump, you have a lot of pre-jump frames. There's something like 10 pre-jump frames. So the initial half circle, you don't get any jump. And then you have 10 frames before you leave the ground when you actually do the jump. It's a lot of time to spin. It might be more than 10, it might be like 13 or something, I don't remember. Hugo has more than most characters. Red parry? He went for it. Hugo needs a red parry there to get a good punish. Otherwise he just gets like a low forward or something. But I think if he gets the red parry, he gets a clap. Oh, it's SF3 Hugo, by the way. So claps are much more dangerous. As are light normals, I suppose. He was a little bit dry on the confirms. He has a few. You can do like 2 jabs into a super, but you've got to be close. Got to be in their ass. I think it's technically possible to do universal overhead super, but you'll never see it. Typically you see it from either clap. What, did he red parry? Did he block low? That's a weird time to stop blocking. He didn't need to red parry, and he didn't, like, anyone would have blocked high there. Third hit of that's an overhead, but there's no low hit, so you can just block the whole thing high. And you should always block the whole thing high, because you take less chip damage when you're blocking high. So the only thing that makes sense is a red parry attempt. But that's just such a weird thing to do there. He must have just, like, he must have had just a twitch on his wrist or something. Just drop block for a few frames. That's a pretty tight juggle. He got the wrong height of clap, I think. Which made the shoot down backbreaker impossible. Nice, Samranos. Secret button. And by secret button I mean that normal's really bad most of the time. Might be good if you need a lot of active frames, which is what just happened there. Very early jump hard punch. That was probably unsafe. Ooh, he had a confirm from that clap. Nice. Of course. It's very greedy to go for a clap like that. That was, he did 1 hit of ducking upper. Red parry attempt. Hugo, I think, might get a punish either way with super, so that was pretty greedy from the Hugo player. But you do get a better punish with, the red parry. So I understand why you would go for it. Just YOLO it. Low short super. Come on, 2 low shorts just worked. Oh, that was the confirm for the win. He's just gonna raw super at some point in this match. Or like a raw EX Larry or something. There you go. Should have jumped forward. Jump forward would have been the perfect play. He would have been able to chase down the run with a EX machine gun blow. Yeah, I called it on the raw super though. What's funny is Dudley actually could have hit a button there. Because if Hugo does any running at all, he has no invincibility. I knew even from a very basic level. I knew like day 1 that Hugo was inspired by Andre the Giant. To this day, I can't really see Alex being inspired by Hulk Hogan. I don't think he is inspired by Hulk Hogan. I think just the WrestleMania 3 thing. I think that particular intro animation seems to be inspired by Hulk Hogan, but like everything else, nah. This is Hugo's worst matchup, by the way, along with Chun-Li. I think Chun-Li's seemed to be slightly worse, but this is the next worst one. Street Fighter 101, Street Fighter 3 101 is Makoto is a girl and Hugo is Andre the Giant. And Sean is a fucking Shoto. That red P attempt, parry. He didn't need it. He had no meter to gain. He was going to kill with the punish. It literally did not matter. On that neutral jump, I wonder if he could have come down with jump hard punch, or if it would have been too, it would have failed to catch crouching Dudley. I don't know how low Dudley gets for low roundhouse. Not that low, I don't think. Mokoto isn't even a character in the game. Nice, good anti-air. Ah, Dudley has a lot of stuff like that. It's actually really hard to parry something Dudley does in SPDM for whatever reason. Masterclass SF3's Q is Robo Detective K, which was apparently a fucking Japanese detective TV show. That Q is ripped off of. Nice, good parry. The Rose? He didn't have a long enough Oki for that. He just threw away whatever Oki he could have had to have Rose Oki instead. Ooh. Very nice pressure by the Ibuki. It's all very weak though. There we go. That's not weak. Sandstrong probably naturally links to super, but because crouching hit. Whoa! Ibuki fell out. There's two separate 3S icebergs, and I've thought about making a video for both of them. But there's some that I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Sandstrong probably links to SA3 naturally. But on crouching it's probably even easier and even stronger. SA3 Ibuki is pretty neat. Wow, Dudley threw before Ibuki landed. That could have TC'd into the... Or not, well... okay, cool. You love to see it. Jab strong fierce TC, hard spinning kick into SA3. That's really scaled. But, and SA3 is not exactly a strong super, but he needed it there for the kill, so it was perfect. Hola. Using the spin kick as a poke. That's pretty novel. No, he's never been revealed. There are obvious similarities between him and G, but they're not enough to say it's the same guy. Especially because there are possibly multiple Qs. Oh, it dropped. It looked a little late. Alright, let's see it air throw to close it out. Ooh, that was probably, that was at least minus. It hit though. So maybe it wasn't unsafe outright. Cool punish. Yeah, unfortunately he didn't quite have super by that point, I think. Yes, Ibuki's +7 on block, stand, jab, or whatever it is. What were they thinking with that normal? If you can't duck that normal is hell. You can parry it either direction though, so it's a little weapon. Nice. I wonder if that's a cancel or a link. There are certain moves in this game that have super long cancel windows, and I think that might be one of them. Ugh. Managed to get under the super and then blew the punish. Alright, this hope. It's ugly though. If you're gonna be chipped out, if you're like in danger of being chipped out, Goki is probably the single worst character to be playing against. He's got so many good ways to chip you. Not even talking about KKZ, although that technically does work. Nice, that really caught as a whiff punish. That super's really fast, and it doesn't have travel time. It takes the same amount of time to go like, oh, was that to catch a parry? You can parry that. What was that? Why would you do that? Why would you not do like Rida? Is that a mistake? Did he want Rida? Cool, towards roundhouse over the fireball. You don't see that very often. Yep. Regular fireballs beat kunai. Good lord. Just catching left and right with these buttons. Sabuki's very active. That's probably a cross-up kunai. Ooh. I don't know, actually. I don't know how that works. It might always be a non-cross-up. I feel like every time I've ever faced it, it's been a non-cross-up. Guh. Guh. What was I talking about? The Kuma safely chipping you out? Oh my god, of all the ways to go out, that's the worst one. That was a free parry, and that would have been like on the road to him getting SA3. What was I saying though? SA3 has no travel time. It takes just as long to go like quarter screen as it takes to go full screen. Which is kind of cool. Or it's like about the same at least. This should kill. Yeah. Very nice. Ibuki's probably the third least played character. Or the fourth. After like... No one plays Sean in 12. Okay, just so you don't know. And just in case you don't know. Literally no one plays those two characters. But then a lot of the other low tiers are actually commonly played. It's not too rare to see a Remy or a Hugo or an Echo or something like that. It's actually more rare to see a Chun-Li than those characters in casual play. In tournament play, Chun-Li is quite common though because people want to win and make money. Ibuki's Ibuki's probably the third least played character though. After Tolban Sean. There's a perception of her being being difficult. She's not that difficult, but there's a perception of her being difficult without adequate reward. Ironically, she's quite unusual to fight. And she can fight a lot of the top tiers fairly well. So it's kind of weird that people think she has no reward, but then like Q does. It's like, what the fuck? Q gets murdered by like half the top tiers. Q's always been common. Q's one of the most played characters. Nice. Parry into air throw. Very nice. Lost some hits though. Yeah, even if that gets parried, you can just super jump cancel it. Really good play by the Sabuki. Ibuki has a lot of buttons that super jump cancel, but only some of them super jump cancel on parry. Crouch Fierce is one of them. I think Stamanos is too. Don't quote me. Or maybe they all super jump cancel on parry and only some of them super jump cancel on block. I think that's it. I don't remember. Oh my god. That hit Ibuki midair and it slammed. Ibuki trades really badly. Obviously she did there because she was dead. Jump short. He didn't even go to the TC. Oh, very nice. Air throw? That was aggressive. He reacted quick. Ordinary super picks in this matchup. It's exactly what you would expect. Say medium kick into Rida is fairly safe. Rida is safe on block, generally speaking. Maybe Shippu can punish. it's a lot more to eat it. Well, not a lot more, but it is more. It's probably at least double damage to eat it compared to blocking it. Oh, very aggressive by the Chun-Li. It's not fair that Chun-Li can parry. That Jump Fierce Fierce has different timings based on which character you're fighting. I wouldn't be surprised if this Chun-Li doesn't play Ibukis very often and just like missed it because of that. Not as much practice. Look at all that Dizzy. Look at all that Dizzy. Ooh, that was unsafe. Chun-Li didn't have a big punish though. He had to do a very light. He had a light super with little mashing there. It was low to the ground. If he mashed at all, it would have been unsafe. So even though the super he could have mashed out more hits, he had to do it. He had to stay safe. The leading theory for a long time was that Q was the guy from Q's ending, because I think they wear the same clothes. It's like a bald black guy with a red tie. That shows up in Q's ending as like a random CIA agent or something. And then he leaves the room, and then Q walks into the room. I don't think that's it. I think that was just, you know, just both wearing clothes. But without the trench coat, I think Q's wearing approximately the same clothing. Some bullshit like that. That was before that was like during Third Strike era though. I doubt that the devs have even put that much thought into it, to be honest. SA1 is now a huge threat for Chun-Li. This could absolutely go either way. I can't believe that wasn't a fucking SA1 by the Ibuki player. He was just afraid of getting hit. They were the same height. If Ibuki did a super, there was a possibility Chun-Li just hit a button and beat her. Very scary. Ibuki was very timid about doing just a raw SA1, but raw SA1 like could have won so easily. I mean, he could be a robot. And not just a guy in a suit. And I would tentatively say that G, if he's G, G is neither a guy nor a robot. G seems to be some kind of Earth entity. How the fuck is Q a friend if he fucking stands on people's heads? Nakali is also an Earth entity. I don't think the G has any kind of slappy reference. He might, and I'm just forgetting it. Hit confirm into light or medium deadly SA3. Probably not. Light is the safest if you drop it. But I think that you can just always do fierce in combos. But light can be really hard to punish. Whereas fierce is almost always punishable. In scenarios where there's a possibility of a parry, you probably want light. Like if you're using it to anti-air or something. Like there. That's the scenario you'd probably use light. Cool. Just YouTube. This one in particular I'm watching from Game Macho. Doesn't tell them. I'll get in trouble. But there are various other YouTube Third Strike uploaders, such as The Shend, such as Third Strike, such as GameSpot versus East vs West. Nice. I feel like we just saw it twice in a row. Wake up Rose parry into instantly dying to a towards strong. I mean towards forward. Q's not very good at that kind of thing. He can probably punish them all with SA1. A bit sussy, huh? I believe it. If Lily can land some kind of SA1 combo, he wins. You can see him aggressively parrying there. Ooh, he actually could have done SA1 out of that. Okay, he won anyway. I'm pretty sure that works, right? EX DP SA1. It works from regular DP. I don't see why it wouldn't work for the EX. He had enough meter. That's a weird thing to ever do, though. But you might as well just all eggs in one basket. No, he might as well not. There was another round. Neat. That can fall out. Didn't there. Oh. Just wait for SF6. I guarantee Dudley and Makoto will be in it. Raw SA2 in 3, 2, 1. Okay, never mind. Of course she's not going to do it. There's another round left. Nice time to do some low forwards. Chun-Li didn't. She's sitting on 2 meters. She's got a huge advantage just because of that. I think this matchup's not that bad. Probably 6-4 Chun-Li. Ooh. I did that like 50 times versus Justin Wong last time I played him. I literally low parried like 5 different. No, it was more than 5. It was like 10. I low parried like 10 low forwards, and every single time he didn't super. I'm just annoyed every time I see Chun-Li players super on a parried low forward, because every single time I parried the low forward and blocked, and Justin just never supered. His reactions are too good. Justin really is like fucking good as shit. I played like 10 matches against him and won 1 round. It's a bad matchup, but even without, like, you know, I'd probably get my ass kicked even if it wasn't a bad matchup. But the fact that it was a bad matchup made it even harder. Genuinely one of the best Third Strike US players, even now. Nice, big combo. SF6 will probably take place either during or right after Third Strike. Or maybe, you know, I don't know. I haven't played seriously in a while, but I was playing. I was swinging out of my league. Any way you spin it, like me at my best would have not done way better versus Justin. Probably would have won round, whole game. Versus Chun-Li's difficult. I think I ran 5 matches with SA2 and I have 5 matches with SA3. It's hard to say which one's better versus Chun-Li. The prevailing theory used to be that SA3 was better because you had the you rarely got hits, so you had to make them count. But now it's like, I mean, obviously there's the argument that of course it's going to count if you just do the infinite. But the problem with the infinite versus Chun-Li, this is the real issue. With SA3, you get good damage no matter what. But SA2, you need to use the light super versus Chun-Li, and you can't cross her up in the corner, which means you have to do the infinite mid screen, and you have to be pretty close to this, like, your corner basically. Damn, 3 years. So with SA3, you get a touch of dizzy in the corner, and mid screen you get, you know, decent damage. You get 60% of Chun-Li's health. Whereas SA2, you get, you know, as much as you can land. Mid screen, and in the corner you get next to nothing. Meter build versus Chun-Li is also quite difficult, just because you're rarely hitting her. So you got to build most of your meter in neutral, just whiffing low forward and stuff, which is obviously shitty. I couldn't take a single Street Fighter character in a fight, not even Dan.
Are you ready? Go.
I'm not even sure I could take Peter. Okay, I could probably take Peter. I don't know. If he has the baton, I couldn't take him. Nice. Or maybe I could take him even if we had the baton. That was a really sexy combo. I mean, that was just standard Dudley corner stuff, but like the starter and the finish for it were pretty added to it. Oh, love it. Corner combo. That might have been the bug. Dudley got reset on the frame he landed, or he got launched the frame he landed. Sometimes when you do that, the juggle counter doesn't reset. Or he might have just mistimed the ducking upper. We don't really have a good context of how dangerous a gun is compared to like Street Fighter characters. We just know that Chun-Li pointed a gun at Bison and then didn't fire it. And Bison laughed, so he didn't appear to be scared of it. But like guns have pretty much never come up besides that. I think Peter had a gun, right? I don't remember. I don't remember how that played out. How dangerous are guns compared to like Hadokens? Street Fighter 2 movie is definitely not canon. Yeah, if Zangief can like break a sword with his body, I feel like he could probably survive a gunshot. In fact, I doubt he would even be hurt by a gunshot. There's Sharon in Street Fighter EX2, which is of questionable canon. But she had a handgun and a machine gun. Q is debatably made of metal, and so is Urian. They could probably survive. Terminator 2. T800 style. I don't know if Gil's... I don't know what Gil's made of, but I feel like he'd be okay. Yeah, Urian's made of metal, didn't you know? Don't even know the lore. That's why he's got a unique block sound. It's like tink. When Urian steps into the match, he like puts his hands out and then his body turns black. That's him turning into metal. In Street Fighter 5 they made it so he only does it for V-Skill 1, but in Street Fighter 3 it's on all the time. Gil has powers over fire and ice. Urian has powers over electricity and metal. Now you know the lore. Oh, he had super off that jump on us, maybe. Difficult to see, though. That stomp is really interesting, this Nair Dare. A lot of first-time chats today. Nice, big jump in, this kills easily. Ooh, ooh, that was not the combo to do. He could have just done ducking up or super. He could have just done ducking super, that would have killed. Instead he did fucking down roundhouse into ducking upper that didn't hit properly. He went for some hyper optimal bullshit. And it fell out. Oh, that was a feeling himself play right there. Oh my god. How often do you see Dudley dizzy someone? I feel like you only see it when you just see a random jumping combo. And that was just a slugfest. Chun-Li just walked into everything. It feels so shitty to low parry Chun-Li's low forward and not even get anything. There are certain things you can do. Like, you can low parry Chun-Li and then do certain things, and it'll actually punish you even if she does the super cancel. Like, if you low parry it and then super yourself, Chun-Li's super has no invincibility. The red parry attempt? What the fuck was that? He blocked a few hits. You would never red parry there. This should kill, right? It's gonna be close. Oh, it did kill. Oh, video ended. Time to watch a different one. Same ass matchup. Chun-Li's hype, huh? Every character in this game is hype. I'm just kidding, Chun-Li's boring. It's fine, Chun-Li versus any other character is hype. It's only Chun-Li versus Chun-Li that's boring. Or Chun-Li absolutely thrashing a low tier. That's kind of boring too. Chun-Li getting these confirms but not committing to the super, very understandable. This one's okay. It's either 5-5 or 6-4 in Chun-Li's favor. I'm pretty sure it's 6-4 in Chun-Li's favor, but it's pretty close. It's like a clean 6-4. It's not like a 6.5, 3.5 or something. Pretty sure. Dudley can slug it out with the top tiers. He's quite good. Very nice. He's got a mountain to climb though. No super. Oh my god, that was a risky spinning bird. Poof. Worked though. Chun-Li players don't spinning bird very often. One, because it costs meter and meter is precious. And two, because it's not that great of a reversal, but it's good enough. See, that's why it's not that great of a reversal. It has some invincibility, but moves with a lot of active frames can just beat it anyway, which is what we just saw there. It's not invincible till it hits, it's just invincible a bit. But that can still let it beat meaties. Very, very dependent on what you're trying to beat. Ah, I do that all the time. Get parried midair, just come down with a different attack. This one's pretty close too, I think. Is that Super 1 Akuma? I can't tell. They only run Super 1, but I almost feel like it's not Super 1. I just can't tell. It's impossible to tell. It almost looks like Super 2. We won't know until he tries to super. All of Akuma's supers are the same exact length. Does that Wake Up Demon Flip? Wake Up Demon Flip's frame 1 airborne, I'm pretty sure, so you can use it to get out of meaty lows. My voice changer? People always say this. It's like, Baff, you've got 2 different voices. It's just whenever I shift. It's literally whenever I shift in my chair. If I'm sitting up straight versus whether I'm slumped, my voice sounds different. There must be something wrong with my body. I just want to see this Akuma super so I can tell what super it is. Akuma doesn't super very often though. The supers are either very unrewarding or a little hard to land. It's probably just SA1. Yeah, he's gonna demon. He's gonna KKZ. Block, dive, kick, and take. Oh, that was a demon attempt. I say 3. Could be. It's gonna be SA1. If it's SA1, he'll probably go for a chip out. Oh, it is SA2! Yo! Hype. Of all the times to finally see it. This is chip her out. It's very rare to see a Akuma pick something that's not SA1. Nice. What the fuck? Why is he picking SA2? What's the idea? What's the plan? You can juggle into it from your Lightosu stuff if you want. It's not like you're gonna find a whole lot of those. Oof. Look how much that melts. He had like full HP before he ate that. It's like that. Half is just gone. Ooh, he's getting fucking worked. Meaty sweep. Chun-Li punished it really badly. Chun-Li's punishes are not too bad until she has super, and she didn't have super by that moment. Oh, the red! Cool little setup there. That's optimal Oki time, and it's also decent damage. Whoa, that was definitely punishable. Chun-Li was too far away, though. The ear button didn't win. Jesus. Alright, demon in 3, 2, 1. Wake up, demon. Okay, he's dead. Sad. I just wanted him to do something with SA2 to justify picking it. Yun. SA3 Yun. Here we go. SF3 has finally been solved. This is the matchup. Oh, nice. Yun was actually a bit too slow for the punish, though. It's the right idea, though. Early command grab, and a relatively optimal. Ooh. Ooh. A little bit of wonkiness there. Those were. He was going for optimal stuff, I think. Cry throw. That did not combo. This should kill? No, not quite. Maybe? It's gonna be close. He dropped it. We'll never know. Probably would have killed. There were kill routes, but they were difficult. He went for something pretty easy. What does Yun's SA3 do? Where do I begin? All of his normals cancel to other normals. And also, all of them have their startup and recovery cut down. And also, all of his normals have priority as though they were supers, so they'll beat anything else in trades. And also, all of his special moves cancel into other special moves. Is that it? Is that the full list of things that happen? It's not a glitch. It's not even the game. It's the recording software. The recording is at 30 FPS, but the game is running at 60 FPS. And the flashing on Gene is 60 Hertz. Oh, are you kidding me? He really didn't go for the red parry? That's weird. I feel like anyone would have gone for the red parry there. Yeah, it works for them. They see it properly. It's just us that don't get to see it properly. If they recorded it in glorious 60 FPS, we would see it properly. I've done that parry. The red parry is easier. I did that parry at a stupid strike and then missed the last hit. That was funny. You don't even have to parry the last hit. You can just, you know. Nice. 16 two-frame windows. That's it. I'm a big fan of after the first 8 hits. You get a nice big window to shift from holding back to hitting forward, where there's not really any possibility of you getting hit. I'll do it. $1,000 a year is not that much money. I'll still do it. It's not like my current hair is anything to write home about. I'll do it for 100. I'd pay to do it. Oh, the hair from SF5. That's a good point. SF5, I'd be a little bit slower. Oh, you hate to see it. Every parry is easy after the first one. It's like dropping a parry on a multi-hit fireball, basically. Same level of difficulty. I say that, but I dropped a parry on Elena's Brave Dance 2 Stupid Strikes ago. Stupid Strike 57. Oh, nice red. High IQ. The worst thing about the parry I dropped on Brave Dance was that I could have shifted to blocking because I hit the ground, but I was so focused on parrying I didn't realize that. Because I parried the first hit midair, but I landed in the middle of the parries and kept parrying, and it's like I could have just started blocking. So there was too much shit going on at once. I was too nervous. It was like fucking Grand Finals last match. We can't all be Daigo. SA1 is actually standard here for deadly, if you can believe that. That was a deliberate whiff, I think. Fake meaty. Nice. Oh, oh. See, that's a parry most people probably don't do. It's a different parry from the SA3 parry, even though it's an easier parry. Super there was probably good. I'm surprised he didn't do it. He would have had another meter for another super. Or like EX or whatever he needed. There was really no reason not to super, I feel. The super wasn't going to kill Chun-Li, but it would have left her at a smidge. And I feel like that's kind of worth it in and of itself. Okay, I will. Oh, of course. Of course. Get thrown 3 times in a row and you're like, I'm going to wake up EXTP. Sword Swing Blow just beats both of those. Oh yeah, I forgot about Omega SF4. I'll do that next Monday. Maybe. It's annoying because Monday's like, ah, fuck, I just have no free days. The days I have off, are the only days my friends are free. And I just want to hang with them. Nice. It was really neat seeing how they mocapped SF5. That was a really cool thing to get to see. That was like a surprising amount of transparency. They were showing that off during Rosenoro. Good. Some of these punishes are not that great though. That was still a horrible thing. Definitely an accident. Yeah, SF5 is mocapped. Or at least some of it is. There's various videos they showed off for the during the dev blogs when they were announcing characters. They showed off some of the Rose mocap, and they showed off some of the Mora mocap.
Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
I think the Rose one was like after Rose was already announced. It might have been we saw the Rose one during the Aura one or something. I don't remember. The TC just whiffed on something stupid. Was it because he wasn't close enough? Or is that TC always whiff on her? God, I hope not. If so, I didn't know that. That's stupid. But it might have just been a lateral range thing. Oh, there you go. No, he... That's an easy parry, and he got the parry, and he didn't get the right punish. Yes, Crouching Chun is, I think, the lowest in the game in terms of size. And there's a lot of weird stuff that happens because of how small she is. She's got like a low profile crouch. Nice. Oh. Post KO super, he was mashing. I feel like time is a decent like thing. Time and budget. I feel like those are like good enough reasons. I'm sure a lot of people will be like, of course I'd rather have the higher quality one than the one that came out easily. But I feel like there are a lot of games that like basically only exist because budget allowed for it. And I'm willing for them to look a little shittier just so that they exist in the first place, such as KOF 14 and 15. Towards strong, top secret, deadly normal. I guess I preferred 2D Disney movies, but you know, it's whatever. Depends on the story. Can't wait to rotoscope my game. Can't wait to see everyone watch me fail a forward roll. Just have like an extremely garbage inhuman forward roll as the animation in my game. Can't wait for me to not be able to climb up a cliff as big as me, and then have to use the me climbing down as the climbing up animation.
Prepare to strike. Now.
I mean, that's my plan. It's always possible. I'm just gonna fucking hire some random like fitness instructor and be like, hey, can you like do various things while I record you? Correct. Yeah, it's punish. He didn't believe in the punish for whatever reason though. Maybe he got ducking when he wanted EX machine gun blow or something. That would make sense actually. That's an easy execution error. No, I was a philosophy major. Should be obvious by listening to me talk for 10 seconds. My major was philosophy law society, which is just a slightly more fancy philosophy major. Yes. It's alright though. Philosophy is the oldest major. It's the STEM that are pretend. Philosophy is actually very common as a major to get into law, and that was my plan. But then I went to law school and then I dropped out because it was too hard. But like, it's very common for lawyers to have philosophy degrees. Especially philosophy law degrees. But to be 100% honest, most places that look for a bachelor's look for any bachelor's. I got a decent LSAT. I forget what it was. It was quite good though.
Are you ready?
It was like a 90th percentile, I think. So I got a nice scholarship when I went to law school. And then my grades weren't good enough, so I lost my scholarship and then I dropped out. I got like C's. I studied Kant. A little bit. Didn't like him. Anything philosophy changed your life? A little bit. There were a lot of interesting things to learn about. Like the Veil of Ignorance. That's one of my favorites.
You win.
That was John Rawls. That should be one of the most influential philosophical things in this day and age, but most people just don't know about it, so it's doing nothing. Nesayas. You're the guy who always likes his own posts on Twitter. Called out. Who does that? Twitter's useful. I mean, I don't care. It's just that I've never seen anyone do it except you. Every time anyone like leaves any sort of comment on anything I do, I get if their post gets like if their post doesn't reply to me and it gets liked, I gets pinged for it. This is like you liking your own post and it gets pinged to me and I'm just like, huh. The jumping stomp is her jump that medium kick. It's pretty interesting. It's got kind of a bad hitbox, but she can act after she lands it. The idea is that if you land it as an air-to-air, it puts the opponent at the perfect height that you can then do like a jump roundhouse or a jump short or a jump down fierce or something like that. I mean, he's influential for the people who know about him, but I feel like that's not that many people.
Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
Most people who read stuff Rawls has written about treat it like the gospel truth, and I don't blame them because it makes a whole lot of fucking sense. The idea with the Veil of Ignorance basically is if you didn't know who you were going to be, you'd want to make a scenario where anyone you could be would be decent. You know what I mean? If you were to create a society where you didn't know if you were going to be a rich guy or a poor guy, the society you would create is one where the poor guy is still okay. It's like a reverse utilitarianism. It's utilitarianism, except utilitarianism does it for the best of everyone, and Rawlsianism is like the best of the worst person. A society where the happiest, the lowest person in society is the happiest. Maximize the minimum. Interesting. You just need a chip. Have you guys know about the pie thing? If you cut a pie, how to divide a pie fairly. What's the actual thing it's about? If you have two people who are going to divide a pie between themselves, and you have it so that one guy cuts the pie and the other person picks the slice. Something like that, right? Wow, Kirky got one but not the other. It's a bit like that. If you're going to cut the pie and someone else is going to choose which slice they get, the only logical way to cut the pie to maximize your pie slice is to divide it into 2 equal slices. Because if you divide it any other way, the other guy will just take the bigger slice. Whoa. Rawlsianism doesn't say that you have to have an absolutely fair society where all money is equally distributed, though. The thing is, like, you can create a better society with unequal money, potentially. And I think the example he liked was Wilt Chamberlain. It tells you exactly about the kind of guy John Rawls was. He's like, if Wilt Chamberlain creates value in him playing basketball enough that people want to pay to see him play basketball. I think I read the Nose It counter arguments and I don't remember them. then it's okay if everyone puts their money forward and Wilt Chamberlain becomes rich because the net of society is going up. All the people are better off. Oh, that fell out. All the people who spent money are better off having Wilt Chamberlain than having their $50 to fucking fund Wilt Chamberlain's lavish lifestyle. Oh, it does? Okay, whatever. I'm combining it all. I don't remember. It's been too long. Decade ago. Not a thing John Rawls was about. I thought it came from both of them. Thought that was just a huge discussion on Wilt Chamberlain. Anyway, a society where Wilt Chamberlain is rich and people get to watch sports is better than one where Wilt Chamberlain doesn't exist. That's the idea. Add on a plus your white, spab, and then you got it. The whole thought experiment, though, with the Veil of Ignorance was just if there was a society of people deciding how society should be structured, but none of them knew who they were. It's just a huge theoretical. Nothing like that could exist in real life. But if such a thing existed, people would try and create a fair system. I saw something very similar to that recently. It was a study on how people thought wealth was divided in America versus how it was actually divided, and then also how people thought wealth should be divided. And it was actually completely bipartisan, which I thought was very interesting. Like, basically everyone in America, conservative or liberal, thought that wealth disparity should be nowhere near what it is. And also, like, nowhere near what it, like... I forget. There was, like, an actual... and then what they thought it was, and then what they thought it should be. And everyone thought it was way less bad than it actually is. And then everyone wanted a scenario where it was even way different from that. Like, currently, it's like the bottom 40% of society has like 0.0... It's like 0.3% of the wealth. And the top 20% has like 80% of the wealth or something like that. 60%, I think. 70%, somewhere on there. And in the society people wanted, it was the bottom 40% has like 20% of the wealth, and the top 20% has like 50% of the wealth, something like that. What does law have to do with philosophy? A lot. Well, at least we can agree on what the issues are. I mean, let's be honest here. Donald Trump, the reason he ever got in any kind of power in the first place is because people wanted someone who was not a politician, which I understand completely. No one likes politicians, especially not like career politicians from families of career politicians. And Donald Trump was not a politician.
Are you ready? Go.
I mean, there are wealthy people using their money for R&D, but I don't know if they're the majority. I don't know if they're putting more money towards R&D than like all society would if society just had more money. Very basic punish.
Fighters ready. Engage.
The whole ass judicial branch is about interpreting the law. That's just philosophy. Everything's philosophy when you look deep enough. You guys know about that Wikipedia game? Go on Wikipedia, find any page, and click the first link in every page. And eventually you'll just get to abstract philosophical concepts. Law is ambiguous. That's why we have a whole jury system. Everything is math. Even science is just math if you zoom out far enough. That was EX flip. That's pretty rare. Don't see that often. It's a really bad move. Reaction parry. Single parry, I think. Hazanshu. I don't even want a fucking ruler. I want a council. But I want it to be a council of, like, my peers. That's the problem with what I would call Congress or fucking Senate or whatever. Is that none of them are my peers. When you have, like, a jury and, like, a trial, it's just, like, random people from society. AOC is probably the single closest person to my peer, and still, like, nowhere near. I understand the idea of a republic, though, is that, like, the layman can't even understand a lot of these concepts, so you do need someone who's, like, you know, can understand them. But I'm not even 100% convinced that a lot of the people in Congress can understand what the fuck they're voting on. I've seen a lot of electronics-related laws that I'm just like, what are they even doing? Video games and movies and copyright, internet laws. The fuck is a gold soul? Is this something I should know about but don't? Yo! That was cool. Heart gold versus soul silver. I had heart gold. Yeah, there needs to be also, like, people who are not corruptible who can dumb these fucking laws down to incredibly simple things, and that's just not feasible, maybe. Hard enough having people that are uncorruptible. A lot of people react positively to the idea of voting on issues rather than politicians. It's very sensible when you just hear it like that. But there are a lot of issues that are just like, you know, you always hear about, like, the really famous issues, but there are a lot that's just like, what the fuck is this? Last time I was at the fucking voting booth, they had this bullshit on dialysis, and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm reading. I don't know, maybe Plato said that bullshit. I didn't do much studying of Plato. And by much, I mean any, I don't think. It should be illegal for Dudley to do towards forward and then parry. That shit's grimy. Big jump in, big dizzy. Favorite historical figure? I don't know. Probably have a really good answer to that, but I don't know who it is. I'm gonna like think of the answer to that in the shower 3 days from now. I'm be like, oh yeah, I know who it is. Damn, he's just jumping like looking for that specific parry. The danger of doing just raw ducking super is if the opponent jumps right as you do the ducking super and you go under it. So the idea of doing ducking super like that is that if they're coming down from a jump, there's a 0% chance they're going to jump over it. But the problem is, you know, that also you can control that as the guy. You can be like, I'll jump, and as I'm coming down, I'll parry, and the hope that they'll be looking for a chip out super that I can't jump over. And then that's exactly what happened. They just jump and then they parry on the way down. Literally looking for that scenario. It's all very thought out on both sides. I understand the mix-up perfectly. Can you really call Jackie Chan a historical figure if he's just alive? In 50 years, he'll be a historical figure. Did you guys know that Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl or whatever are just out on emulator, and you can just play them? They're not even out in console, but they're out on emulator, and you can just play them. You guys can all be playing Gen 4 remakes right now if you want to be. I haven't even tried to emulate Switch games yet. I might actually get the Gen 4 remake, even though I didn't care for Gen 4 that much. And even though it looks a little garbage, just because I haven't played a Pokemon game in a while and it sounds kind of fun. Low like jab or something, low short, stuffing a EX bird. I wonder what fire types they'll be. Apparently in the underground there are wild Pokemon. And also, the wild Pokemon can be outside the regional decks. So that's kind of cool. I don't even remember what Switch games are. Switch games $60. Aura 4-bar combos. You can still give people the peen. What do you mean? What do we mean 4-bar combos? In SF5? Like it builds a whole EX? That's interesting. I haven't been seeing that shit. I remember hearing that video games are technically speaking the cheapest now they've ever been. That might still be true because of inflation. Back when we were paying for $60 games, or I should say $50 games in like Super Nintendo era, those $50 were much more valuable than the $60 games are now. So as much as I hate the idea of paying more for video games, technically speaking I can understand it. And yeah, the quality of video games is... I'm not going to say the quality of video games is the highest it's ever been. Technically speaking, it's the highest it's ever been, but I'm talking about like the actual amount of effort that went into it. Rather than the, you know, whether it's a good game or not. People always vote with their wallets. No one wants to pay more for a game even if it's warranted. My guy TC'd out of that Stand Strong. Stylish. Guy came in here, posted his own YouTube video. We're already watching one. Ugh. Oh, Deadly Stun Roundhouse just punishes that? Must be nice. Being able to punish that with a fucking cancelable normal. The only cancelable normal I have that punishes that is Low Strong, and Low Strong literally combos to nothing from that range. It's like a meme that Low Strong even cancels for Oro because it just combos into nothing. I'm pretty sure it's slower and weaker than Stand Forward. So you would never use it instead of Stand Forward when going into hit grab. And it pushes out a massive amount so it doesn't go into uppercut. I don't even think at point blank it goes into uppercut. Maybe it does. Yeah, it's when it stays on. They're playing King of the Hill. It goes into Fireball, but it's not a combo, or it can't combo into his Fireballs except like from a launcher or something. All of his buttons are just not enough. His Fireball has just way too much startup. That Torazon. Non-EX Torazon that actually hit. Dive kicks with twins. You mean, are twins the first people who had dive kicks? Because the answer to that is certainly no. What was the first fighting game dive kick? I actually have no idea. Oh god, what if it's T-Hawk? Did Akuma have a dive kick in SF2? I didn't think he did. But T-Hawk existed before Akuma. No, Kemi didn't have a dive kick in SF2. I'm pretty sure the only dive kick in SF2 was T-Hawk. I mean, there's also the knee shot from DJ. That existed, right? Pretty sure. I think? I don't remember DJ had jumped down short in SF2. I feel like he did, but now I don't remember. Well, T-Hawk and DJ were out at the same time, so T-Hawk is still my answer. Oh yeah, obviously the twins from Dive Kick are based on Yin and Yang. It's kind of funny that you phrased it like that, though. I wouldn't call it a trend of having twins with dive kicks. In a roundabout way, KOF tops. The first KOF was 94. T-Hawk was already out by that point, I think. I don't remember when ST came out, but it was like 91 or something. 92, somewhere on there. Maybe? Maybe it was 94. T-Hawk wasn't super, he was not even super turbo. He had to be like 92 or something. I think X-Men vs Street Fighter used the Alpha sprites, right? So Alpha probably came first. Unless they were developed at the same time. I don't know anything about when the Marvel series started. What even was the first Marvel game? Didn't Capcom do like an only X-Men fighting game? And then there was also Marvel Superheroes. Yeah, X-Men Children of the Atom. And Marvel Superheroes. And then both characters from both games got combined into the Marvel series. Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men vs Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes vs Street Fighter, right? And then Marvel vs Capcom, something like that. Oh yeah, Dhalsim has a dive kick in SF2. Which version did he get that? I forgot. I forgot about that one. I forgot about Dhalsim's dive kick. Did he have that from the get-go, or did they add that? I don't know which version he got that in. Why the fuck did I not instantly think of Dhalsim? Jesus Christ. I'm cringing right now at myself. Yeah, Dalsum is the original dive kicker. I can buy that.
Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
It's so weird playing versions of Street Fighter 2, like old ones. He had it in World Warrior. Yo, the very beginning. Yo, Optimal. Look at all that dizzy. Oh my god, he's dead.
You win.
I played CE Claw, and it's just, what the fuck is going on? You hit kick buttons and you get punches. It's like sacrilege these days. And there's just a million more reused sprites. Like, a lot of characters just have like the same medium kick and hard kick and shit like that. The whole gag with dive kick is that dive kicks are broken in basically every fighting game they've ever appeared in. It's like impossible to balance dive kicks, they're just too strong. Look how garbage these dive kicks are in SF5. That's like what dive kicks have to be in order for them to be fair. Like, look at Nikali's dive kick and then look at Rufus's in SF4. Look at both of them back to back and it's like, holy shit.
You win. Now.
Nikali has a dive kick? Yeah. It's down hard kick midair.
Engage.
Forward jump only. Even Kemi's regular dive kick is good, and it's garbage. But then dive kick from the flip, or EX dive kick, or trigger dive kick are all, you know. Yeah, Kung Lao and MK. I don't want to work today. Dr. Doom. Everyone who has like a character inspired by a real... Everyone who has a character in dive kick. They're all based on real dive kicks. Wolverine's dive kick is in there. Who else? Wow. They've got Rufus dive kick, Dr. Doom dive kick, Wolverine dive kick. I don't even know what a Zubaz is. Is a character in dive kick? I don't remember.
Fight is ready. Engage.
Yin and Yang.
Final round. Go.
Oh my god, I got it. Thank the Lord, thank Jesus. I had a splinter in my finger and it came out. It's been there for the last like 3 days. Just kind of worked its way out on its own. It broke off in there and then it just got fucking stuck. Probably gonna die young.
You win. Fight is ready. Engage.
Who, me? Hi, Sonic Soul. Ooh. EX short swing blow. What decision, what switch gets flipped in a Dudley player's head that they decide to use EX short swing blow versus regular? Wow, that was some fast mashing. Holy shit.
Prepare to strike. Now.
Low parry the stand jab. Dink. My guy had a read and it probably wasn't that. Didn't matter. That's why stand jab is a bad poke for just about every character in the game. Oh, wow! The specific parry sequence. Dudley did a low short stand forward, which is a target combo that literally only exists because it's a low parry only into a high parry only. And it's Dudley's only TC like that, I'm pretty sure. Everything else you could tap forward repeatedly or down repeatedly. So, Necker actually knew that Dudley was going to do that TC and parried it correctly. You don't see that very often. In fact, I think that's the first time I've ever actually seen that parried properly. Dudley's rarely use it. If Dudley's going to chip you out, he's probably going to do something else. Because that TC, it's good for people who are trying to parry, but it actually doesn't do any block damage or anything. So you can just block your way out of it. I mean, if you literally mash perfectly, and by that I mean like 60 hertz mashing, along with like 60 hertz like stick spinning, you can check out of a dizzy pretty fast, but not instantly. That wasn't very strong. Only got all the weak hits. Still got a hard knockdown. Any super knockdown is a hard knockdown. Rare exceptions. Shoutouts to SF3 where you can quick stand some supers but not others, and also some of them have a Oki and other ones don't, and there's just no consistency to it at all. What the fuck were they thinking with that? That's so stupid. Nice. It's easier to remember with the special moves because you see them all the time. Most of the time a super either kills or like, you know. Look, I just want them to remove Kemi from the game. I actually don't really think Kemi's a problem, if I'm being honest. I think Kemi's in a very highly agreeable state ever since V versus got added. I mean V shifts. But that sentiment is not shared by the community. The problem character might be Yuri and it might be Kemi. Those are the ones that I would point to if I was going to point to anyone. But I don't really think either of them are problems. Rashid, maybe? Kareen, maybe? They don't jump out at me. They're decent. It really depends on who you play. It's very hard to argue where Laura is in the tier list. A lot of people say a lot of different things. No, I didn't hear about any of that. Poison, maybe. I feel like people would never say anything about Poison or Laura if not for Idom. But also the fact that people like Idom can exist is only possible if Poison and Laura are at least good enough to do that amount of work. It's like every character, it's like if you just removed specific players, that character would probably not even be complained about. Nice. That's probably a blue parry, but it didn't flash, I don't think. Maybe it did. Regular spinning bird. Oof. He did a delayed meaty though, probably trying to catch a early parry. Like a throw attack or something. Nice. SF5 is fine now, is the prevailing opinion I see these days, and I agree. It's honestly very hard for me to say if Oro's alright, even as an Oro player. I'm not saying I don't think he's alright, I'm just saying I have no idea if he's alright. I have no idea where Oro exists on the tier list. I got no clue. There's a lot of weirdness to his play that makes me think he might be a little bit better than I can read on the immediately. And obviously he's very tech deep, unlike a lot of characters. Ooh, caught a backdash. He's better than Akira. Out the gate, no. I like Akira quite a lot. I think Akira could have the potential for... Oh, you think Akira's better? I'm surprised. I feel like Akira has more potential to be a... I don't know. It's hard to say. I really like the look of who Momochi's Akira. Akira did a little bit more work early on. But it's hard to say whether people just had like lower expectations of her. It's like, oh man, I thought Oro would be a top tier, but he's only okay. And it's like, who even is Akira? Wow, she's great. You know. Everyone in SF5 plays the same. Maybe. I mean, we're all going for the same like frame trap mix-ups. I used to have those opinions, but now I'm not sure I do anymore. Shen was playing Oro for a minute. He seemed to go back and forth for how strong Oro is. I thought he would be like the one who would just like stick to Oro like glue. It seems like he's mostly playing Seth. It's just like I thought he would like he likes the tech deep characters who are very offbeat, you know. Shen likes characters that people don't play. So VT2 is very in line, yeah, with what Shen likes. He can just create like one of like 20 different scenarios where if you've never seen it, you'll just block wrong. Or like a lot of your gut instinct things to do. It's like, oh, I'll V-shift this, or oh, I'll V-reverse this, and it's like, surprise, you're punished. He was here like 2 minutes ago. He's probably still here. SF5 is unfortunately not that kind of game. There is set play in SF5. It really depends on what your definition of crazy set play is, but there is a lot of set play. There are certain scenarios that are balanced around the fact that they give Oki everywhere. There's not like looping. Some characters have looping Oki, but usually not on every facet of the mix-up. It'll be like some results, some things lead to Oki, but other things don't. There's nothing as crazy as Milia, or at least not the Milia I'm thinking of. I don't know how she plays in fucking Exertance Drive, but I've seen Milia and older shit, and she just knocks you over and does meaty discs over and over. Ooh, easy parry. Interesting to go for the, ooh, very nice. Yeah, what I was going to say is, SF5 is very much not the game where you can kind of like find something in the lab no one's ever seen before. You can do that with every character, but not like, it's not tech that you can pull out every match for the vast majority of the cast. You can find like very specific things people have never seen before. But it like, for like general purpose stuff, there's very few characters where you can really do that. Manada's one of them, I think. It's like all behind triggers, even for Manat. Most of Manat's like non-trigger stuff is just like not too weird.
Final round. Go.
A lot of characters can create very specific mix-up scenarios in their trigger, but often they need like a way to open you up to even go for those scenarios. Like Nash BT2. It's like, yeah, he can actually create like a really weird scenario with trigger. He can create some very ambiguous left-right mix-ups. Yeah, but like then you have to, 1, you have to pick Nash BT2. 2, you have to get into it. 3, you have to open up the opponent while you're in it. You know? It's like while there is like a grind, and then there's just one reset. And it can be, he does have some legitimately grimy resets, but like, you know, even if your reset pans out, it's just like, you know, there goes your trigger time, and here's your fucking the rest of your trigger time. Here's your one mix-up you got. I think Nash BT1 and BT2 are actually better balanced than a lot of people seem to think they are. I kind of like Nash BT2. It's hard to, it's annoying to play though. They made it executionally easier recently. I haven't really fooled around with it much since then. It was really difficult to use when it came out. Jerry BT2 is one of the only triggers in the game where I'm like, this is pretty mediocre. For most characters, I think both triggers are worth picking. I think people, like, there are a lot of characters where one of them is arguably slightly better than the other, and because of that, people basically always pick the slightly better one. But they're, like, decently balanced, it's just that why would you pick the weaker one? And then there are a lot that I think that are, like, actually probably about as good as each other, but, like, people just underrate one of them. And then there are a lot of characters where they just do it based on matchup. The meter drain of Jury VT2 is honestly not bad. I think people underrate that a lot, but I can't imagine a world where it's as good as VT1. But it's definitely not useless. The activation is a bit of a novelty. They definitely planned around you using the activation like that. But not VT2, I used to think it was just garbage, but now I think it's interesting. The damage potential of Manat VT2 is insanely high. It's really strong. Like, obviously you can do more broken things on paper in Manat VT1. Like being able to attack while blocking. But, Manat VT2, if you just get like an opening, you can just get like 50% combos, and you can do that twice per round. She can do some crazy stuff. Ibuki's triggers... I think the only problem I have with VT1 is just Ibuki's health. I think they're both okay. Probably I'd pick VT2 if I was playing Ibuki. Just because it's a lot simpler. I don't like the bomb detonation time that much. They changed it. It's harder to find. Like, ever since the bomb has a hit, you're railroaded into low strong towards roundhouse. It's like hard to do something that's not that. Kemi VT2 is very interesting and novel. I don't think it's very good, but I do think it's interesting and novel, and people underrate it a lot. She gets a very nice, relatively pure mix-up, where she can either go for a grab that's duckable but unblockable, or an overhead, and both of them lead to a combo. The combos are not very strong, but it is like a true 50-50 if you can't anti-air. And a lot of characters, especially in the right context, cannot anti-air it in time. One of the big things that made it suffer before was that both options were pretty unsafe, and Kemi has very low HP. But now I think a lot of people already sucked at punishing the grab because it whiffs pretty quickly. Well, it just doesn't have it whiffs, it doesn't hit, so it doesn't have like a block animation. So a lot of people are just garbage at punishing things that whiff. And then the overhead is, I think, safe now. I think it's -2. Yeah, you should be able to V-shift it now, so it's probably garbage. Now I think about it. But you can V-shift you can V-shift VT1 too. And that's actually a feasible thing. I've done that in a match. That's a huge hit Kemi took to VT1. It's hard though, you have to react very quickly. I mean, VT1 is worse, but you can still do stuff to confirm into it. And V-shift is not always available. If the opponent triggers, they can't V-shift anymore. But like, Abigail can get like EX command grab and then do like charged back fears. That works. And it just makes him stronger in general, so, you know. Both of Abigail's triggers got really nerfed by V-shift. But VT1 definitely got hit worse. You can still just use VT2 just as a combo ender, and it's fine. You don't have to do the unblockable stuff. Guaranteed way to punish V-shift. If the V-shift procs, there's no guaranteed way, because it has no recovery. If the V-shift doesn't proc, there are guaranteed ways to punish it. I made a video not so long ago where I talked about being able to whiff a throw and then still punish V-shift, which everyone can do. Every character can do that. Nice. Well, he parried twice exactly. Yeah, Ibuki, you can't. It's very specific. Ibuki, if the shuriken reaches the opponent, the V-shift will proc, and then there will be no recovery to the V-shift, so it's really hard for Ibuki to get a real mix-up there. She might be frame advantage, but even if she's frame advantage, that doesn't help if the opponent can potentially V-break. So it's just a mix-up. It's like if Ibuki reads the V-break and jumps it or something, she might get a punish, but... And if they don't V-break, she can get frame advantage. If she just, like, resets... If they V-shift and then they, like, you know, recover into a button. That's hard to even chase because they get so much fucking backward movement. And the only thing Ibuki can really do to prevent that is grab them before the returning shuriken hits, but I don't even know if that's feasible. Because the only real way to get up the shuriken on block is EX Kunai trigger. And I don't know if she can do that and then grab them before they can V-shift. It might be instant V-shift errors in time. I don't think so, but I don't know. Yeah, it might be instant V-shift errors in time. You just basically have to confirm into Ibuki's trigger either way, which is thankfully not too hard, because you've got kunai and you've got the forward and shit. You have to read a throw in SF in like every SF game. There are like no throws you can tech on reaction basically in the whole series. Those are like instant in SF. They're like 3 frame. Or 5. Or 1. People are like reacting to the forward walking. 5 frames is not reactable by any stretch. People can't even react to like a fucking 15 frame overhead. You want to react to a fucking 5 frame grab. It's true that you can take a throw after you've been thrown. Oh, it fell out! Did you get the super cancel later, or it was the wrong height, or what? Dudley actually breaks the juggle limit with that combo, or it's not a juggle limit. After 6, it becomes insanely precise to juggle more frames. You only have like 3 or 4 frames to... It's like 4 or 5 frames to keep juggling, but Dudley super hits like instantly. Hits on frame 2. Two buff Tiger Waves. I don't know what the fuck a Tiger Wave is. You talking about like Tiger Shot? Yes. Most of Guts BTs is 2 buff Tiger Shots. It's really good though. It is SA2 Makoto. SA2 Makoto standard. Nothing interesting about that. This is like the most common SA Makoto's run.
Are you ready? Go.
Nice. I love that. That's one of the first pieces of SF tech I ever saw. I was like, damn, that's really cool. That was like one of those little moments where I started to understand what the fuck is going on with the juggle system of this game. Dudley can't normally get ducking upper to ducking upper, but if he gets ducking upper 1 hit, he can do another ducking upper. Because ducking upper 1 hit creates a more lax juggle state. It's probably fucking, I don't know what it is, 1 per hit or something like that. Nice red. Jesus Christ, if Hakan got in and V-Skill 1 was oil, what the fuck would V-Skill 2 be? V-Skill would probably, I mean, oil would probably be a special move even for Hakan. What if Luca's a Rekka character? I could really see that. That might do that.
Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
I've never seen a VS2 Laura. It's funny because Laura's VS2 is actually mad good, but her VS1 is mad good, so like, it's not worth picking VS2. But VS2 is completely different gameplay-wise, and it's extremely good. And I was excited to eventually see it, but I just haven't seen it yet. Now VT2 Laura is the KOF dodge. VS2 Laura is the jump. VT2 Laura is mad bad. But VS2 Laura is mad novel. Fellas, we gave Laura a dive kick. She gets insanely high damage combos with it. Laura gets really high damage combos either way, though. With the right setup, Laura's damage is crazy high. Laura has the same thing with the VS2 that Ken does, where it's like, theoretically, it gives her like more optimal combos, but like, the neutral of VS1 is more useful. But Ken's VS2 actually has really nice neutral use too, so it's not quite a perfect comparison. I've actually seen a lot of VS2 Kens. It's quite interesting, quite good. Ken's another character with 2 great V-skills. Oh. Take it back. SF4 gave us Seth. And then SF5 gave us a completely different Seth. Wow, was there really no good SF4 newcomer anywhere? Fuerte, no. Rufus, no. Abel, maybe. Viper, no. I'm gonna give Viper a maybe as well. I like the ideas behind Viper. I'll give Viper a pass. Viper's good. I don't like the ideas behind Abel, but he was more popular. Jury, theoretically, yes, but actually, no. Hakan, no. Seth, yes. Maybe. Not in SF4, but at least he's very novel in SF5. Gouken, yes. I like Gouken. I will defend Gouken. Oni, maybe. DiCapri, no maybe. Wow, all those designs were garbage. There were a lot of visual character designs that didn't turn into fun gameplay designs. Like Jury. Like, Hakan. Oh my god, Ken could lose this if he keeps fucking around. He's like 1 EX Torozon away from dying. Ugh. Was that some Roundhouse? That looked like a Roundhouse from Yang. Seth was uninteresting in SF4, I feel. DiCapri was in 5. Technically. She had 2 special moves. Most of the dolls only had 1. I'd love for Gouken to come back just to see what kind of nonsense they give to him. I feel like they'd like sneak some other thing on him. It's like, here's Gouken again, but this time we gave him Ken's roll and fucking we added the demon flip back flop from Alpha. Remember that? Remember Akuma's demon flip in Alpha? Yeah, and we added Sean's basketball. They just give him like random Shoto shit. They're willing to break the rules with Gouken. They're willing to do whatever they want. Evil Ryu was in Alpha. The Evil Ryu we got in SF4 was quite different from the Alpha Evil Ryu. Alpha Evil Ryu just has a different super selection. But otherwise he's pretty similar to Ryu. He has a different... I think he has a different, like... He has like one normal different. He's like a different towards strong or towards fierce or something. Yeah, he has Teleport, he's got Raging Demon, and he's got a different DP super if you pick Aism. Evil Ryu wasn't banned, he just wasn't in the console release. I mean, he was only in the console release. He wasn't in the arcade release, and people only play arcade. He was a console exclusive character. One thing that was insanely cruel about Poison in SF4 is that because she came from Street Fighter Cross Tekken, her charge-up attack in that game was the fireball. So you could like hold the fireball to delay it, you know? You guys know how charge attack dash cancels work and stuff like that? Anyone know about fucking Cross Tekken? That cancel is really hard to do. It's very fast normal. Anyway, because of that, when they made Poison in SF4, they just reused the animation, and they made her focus attack very similar to her fireball animation. Because in SF Cross Tekken, her charge-up attack was like the fireball. And because of that, you can't instantly tell on a moment where you have to react quickly. You can't instantly tell whether she's throwing a fireball or doing a focus in SF4. And there are certain like things you could do versus one that would be horrible against the other. Like there are certain ultras where you'd want to do it on reaction to a fireball, but if you did it and she was focusing, she could just backdash and either block or get hit midair, and then the ultra would fall out, and then she could get a punish on you. That was like very bullshit. Poison was very bullshit for a lot of reasons in SF4. She was actually extremely good. I like that she just had a normal overhead that does a 2-frame link into jab. Just like no one cared. Why'd she have that? That's just so out of place. It's one of the only characters you could link out of an overhead at all. Especially like a normal overhead. Oh, anyway, Evil Ryu was very different in SF4, and Evil Ryu is even more different now he's in SF5. It's so different they changed his name. Look at that squishy cat. I couldn't tell you how good she is in cross Tekken, no one plays her. But in 4 and 5, she seems to be quite strong. It's not like, if you've only been in 2 games, the blank character has never been bad is not very interesting. Compared to, say, like Akuma, who's been bad maybe never, and he's been in tons of games. Name a game Akuma's bad in. I'm sure there's one. Someone's gonna say like Puzzle Fighter. I have no idea how good he is in SVC. Probably like 5 people in the world who knows how who know SVC's tier list. Is Akuma even in Capcom Fighting Jam? I didn't think he was. MVC 2, I guess. I think he's still good in that game, but he's just ridiculously outclassed because the power gap is just so extreme. There's only 10 characters that can truly like play in the top tier setting. You know what? I've never seen like a fucking... It's been so long since I've seen a Black Heart in MVC 2. Have you guys noticed that? Where the fuck are the Black Hearts? Black Heart is regarded to be a top tier character and he just has no players. Like he actually like fights decently well against like the actual top tiers. Like you can just donk Blackheart onto your team with Sentinel if you want. And Storm. And it works. But I just feel like I never see Blackheart players. But he's like miles better than most of the rest of the cast. But he's like the only one in like top 10 who like you don't see regularly, I feel. A lot of characters are garbage, but played for their assist. Like, Captain Commando's a pretty bad character. He's got a pretty great assist. So just pick 2 top tiers where the Commando assist ends up being better than, like, 3 top tiers. I don't know. People usually zone with him, I think. Shoutouts to Iron Man and War Machine who can guard break into an infinite. Get one opening and kill your whole team. Yeah, Tron's utter trash outside the assist. There's a few characters like that. Tron's assist like hits twice as often as it's supposed to or some bullshit like that, so it just does a ridiculous amount of damage. That's a good hitbox too. I feel like there's another character with like a good assist who's like really bad. Cable's got one of the best guard breaks, I think. And he can guard break into air, hyper, viper beam, and then loop a few of those if he wants. The gimmick teams with BB Hood and like Anakaris and Juggernaut, it's like teams like those. Have you guys ever seen that? It's one of my favorite memes in MVC2. I've talked about it before. There are certain characters you can run where if you do the team hyper combo, like the level 3, where all 3 characters come out, there are certain character combinations you can run where those are instant kills. So you there's like 4 or 5 characters where you can literally just like get any hit and then just instantly team hyper combo and just kill. And it'll kill like the point character and an assist if there's like an assist on the screen. It's like crazy. It's a very hilarious idea. The thing about NBC2 is that there's a lot of characters that are kind of garbage, but like if you've never played them, you'll get lit up. Like if you're just fighting a Mega Man who's just jumping and doing hard punches, it's like that's like alarmingly hard to do something about. Dr. Doom just jumping and shooting the fucking gun. Iceman. There's like tons of characters in the game that can just completely gimmick you if you've never seen them. Oof. Oh, hit midair. Jump? Universal overhead? That was weird. Oh, she wanted close roundhouse and got far roundhouse. That sucks. Dead. I'm gonna look up some MBC2 ratio matches when I go to sleep soon. The cat. There's some truly garbage characters too. Like I've never seen Roller Cerebot do anything. I am very strongly in favor of more experimental games with shorter development cycles. Where it's just like it comes out, they only expect people to play it for a year and they just try weird stuff and it's just like just play this for a year and then we'll make a new one next year. Even more so if it was cheap. And I don't care if their resources are pretty light, if they just like reuse assets up the ass. MVC2 style. I think that would be great. I think it might not be feasible for various reasons, but I like the idea a lot. Wake up far strong. He's just like, yeah, you're bullshitting me, you're not gonna meaty. Balance patches are a blessing. I don't know why everyone's against them. You want to go back and play vanilla SF5? No, you don't. Priority is the biggest meme in fighting games. Actually, throws are the biggest meme in fighting games. Throws were a mistake ever since Chun-Li in SF2. We should have known right then. It's like it's only gonna get worse from here. Difficult. Yep, there it is. Chun-Li would just throw you from outside your throw range. And that can still happen in modern fighting games. You can still get thrown from outside your throw range. And we just accept it. It's like, well, that's Zangief. Well, that's Bison. Well, that's Marth. I can safely and confidently say that my personal matchup with the twins would be much easier as an Oro player if they weren't obnoxiously small. It would be miles better. That would be insanely helpful. If I could just do chicken combo on twins, that would help a lot. It would basically make them into a Buki. Where they've got like kind of like a neutral edge, but then like I just melt them if I hit them. But right now I only melt them half the time when I hit them because the other half of the time I like don't have meter. I don't know. I always pictured it as a live chicken. The problem with Oro's chicken combo on twins is that not only does it, like, not only can he not use that to get huge damage on them, but also he can't use it to build meter. So with every other character in the game, if I have super, I'll just go chicken into super, and if I don't have super, I'll just do chicken and get the meter that next time I hit them I can go into super. Simple as that. Very easy. Wow. I had to think about which character was EX Scythe for like an embarrassingly long time. It's Elena. Best ender against crouchers as Ryu in this game? Donkey. It depends on the context. But I think Crouch Fierce into medium Donkey works on everyone. Ah yes, it was anti-Shoto. I think Yun is probably Elena's worst matchup. Off the top of my head. It's gotta be. I'm not a great Elena, but just thinking about it. Yeah, he went for the card DP, dropped it. His down medium kick didn't even look well timed. Elena's okay. She's a bit hard to counterpick in a serious, meaningful way. But she's a little bit middling. Her big problem is that she can't really pack a punch behind anything except low strong. That is like her only cancel that's decent. And low strong has no mix-ups tied to it. It's not a low, it's not an overhead. She can't combo it off of anything except jump-ins. So all these things that are tied to mix-ups, like back roundhouse or stand roundhouse or fucking towards strong, towards forward, low roundhouse, slide. None of those things lead to damage. They're just one-off hits. If she could cancel any of that bullshit into super, she would be a really good character. But because her only super cancel is fucking low strong, I mean, she's got like light normals as a super cancel, and she's got stand strong. Nice little meme option there. But just because she can't pack a punch off of anything, her bigger issue is that she's got no special move to go into. Her only like specials that she can go into are DP, which is often restrictive because of it's got very low range. Or EX Spin Scythe. And maybe EX Rhinohorn? Don't remember about EX Rhinohorn. You never do that one. But EX Spin Scythe is quite good. So because of that, this is really where we get into the nitty gritty of the third strike mechanics. Because none of those things are really dangerous from a high damage standpoint, you think that wouldn't matter that much, but it means that you can go for aggressive parries against them. You can just really aggressively read a low parry on Elena, and then if she hits you with towards forward, you don't care because it doesn't lead to anything. You can really aggressively go for a high parry on Elena, and if she hits you with slide, you don't really care because it didn't lead to anything. If she hits you with low forward, you especially don't care. If she goes for low strong, the only thing that leads to shit, a parry will work against that regardless, because it can be parried low or high. You see what I'm saying? The fact that nothing like packs any real danger means that you can play extremely risky against her. 12 has the same issue, but there's a really big difference between 12 and Elena. Well, there's two really big differences. One is that Elena has a giant Kara throw, and that's really the difference maker. It's because she has the best counter in the game to someone who's aggressively parrying, and that's a big Kara throw. Yeah, that's what you do. That's literally what you do. That's the only way Elena works, is if you Kara throw all the time. And also, Elena is mildly stronger than 12, because literally anyone is stronger than 12. Not only are Elena's buttons stronger than 12's buttons, which is already great, but then if you have an actual confirm, like if Elena gets a parry, Elena's combos are way stronger than 12's combos. Elena's combos are actually pretty powerful. Low strong into uppercut is not too bad. Even stand short into uppercut is not too bad. But then low strong into EX spin scythe. Wow, nice whiff punish. Low strong into EX spin scythe actually leads to massive damage combos. Yeah, it is the same problem as 12. But Elena ends up being a lot better than 12. Of course, Elena can just vary her timings on when she attacks you. So, theoretically, she'll be hitting the opponent a lot more often than she'll be getting parried. But the problem is, if you just attack recklessly with low forward and towards forward and stuff like that, the reward, if you're right, is a low forward or towards forward, which is just nothing. But if the opponent parries, their reward is a super confirm. It depends on what character they're playing. But, like, you know, they parry your low strong, they parry your low forward, they parry your towards forward, and then they do Ken low forward into super. And it's just like, oh. Ken's risk was like a 20th of his health bar, and his reward is a quarter of my health bar. You see what I'm saying? No, I'd be a shitty P groove player. When I played CBS2, I played N groove. Nowadays, I might play P groove on principle, but I feel like if you're going to be a P groove player, you might as well just be a K groove player. And I feel like being a K groove player is just a mistake compared to being an A groove player. A is truly the way. I'd probably play C groove. C groove is cool. I didn't really know what I was doing back then. You can always just do normal supers with A groove. Treat it like a very slightly shittier C groove. C groove, but the level 1s are more expensive. And no level 2s and level 3s. Ugh. Nice whiff punish, holy shit. Showdown neutral is so nice in this game. They knocked it out of the park. Sub. I'm going to sleep before too long. 8 minutes. You guys have me for 8 remaining minutes. I'm glad I streamed. I was thinking about not streaming. I was thinking about just getting into bed. I feel like I've had a nice little stream today. All the stuff we talked about was fun. Oh no! Hi. Yeah, I don't like that at all about K-Groove. And I feel like it kind of gets counterpicked by some of the other ones. Like, the opponent can activate you and kind of kill you. If they're like C or A groove, I feel. I feel like of all the grooves, K is like the one that's the easiest to, like, I don't know, metagame against. I might stream tomorrow, no promises. Most underrated? I thought it was just the most garbage. I thought P-Groove was the most underrated. I don't know. I know nothing about S-Groove. Nice. That didn't combo due to range and Ken just OS parried it. There are 6. CAP and SNK, get it? We've discussed literally all of them now. Cool conversion. Oh, he wanted that to go the other way. All the grooves are based on just various systems that the games have had. K-Groove is a little bit like Gara, maybe. S-Groove is like, I don't know. Is it Fatal Fury or something? I'm actually not sure about S-Groove. And Groove is like some of the KOF games. I knew that EX was like that, but I thought that was taken from something else. With the extra mode, the dodging. And then C Groove is based on Alpha's A-ism. A Groove is based on Alpha's V-ism. And P Groove is based on, I guess, Street Fighter 3. The parries. Sam Show. I didn't know anything about Sam Show. Does that have Just Defend 2? That would make more sense. I don't even know when Garo came out. Look at the fat guy. I hate him. That is one fat, stupid Wojak. Double DP. It's in the corner, so it's free. None of them are quite like what they came from anyway. Like, P-Groove has a different super system than what you would see in SF3. Both C and A Groove work very differently from the Alpha games. Wow, that hit. What went wrong? Suddenly try to parry it and fail? Very nice meaties. Ken's playing a mean game. He didn't look confirm though. He had low short, low jab, and he just didn't confirm it. I've seen that. I remember that. CVS1 very famously had a lot of abuse of that, I'm pretty sure. Double DP mid-screen! Yo! I feel like that might be slightly more lax. You still need the Kara versus Chun-Li, but you might have an extra frame. Nice dash and throw. Ken's dash is really fast. It's like a frame slower than Ryu's or 2 frames slower or something like that. It's very close. I think Sean has the same as Ryu. Couldn't tell you about Akuma's though. Might be slower like Ken's. I don't think they're all the same. Pretty sure Ken's is slower. With 2 close strongs and then actually go for our close strong meaty. Metagaming. Good throw. Very fast reaction. I hate when people jump at me like that. Ooh, this could almost... Oh, chip him out. I'm sure that was going into like Fireball Super or some bullshit. He tried to red parry. That's like what you would do there. 1 block into red parry is actually a very big galaxy brain. Like way more than you would think. It's because a really common chip out strategy with Ken is to do either a, like a low forward or a close strong and then cancel the DP or EXDP or something. And that's a 50-50 to parry. But if you block and red parry, then it works 100% of the time. Provided you can hit the red parry. But what the Ken actually did was strong fierce and the other Ken just missed the parry. It's got like the same timing too. Nice.
You win. Now, into the heat of battle. Go for it.
Imagine being this good of a Ken and you wake up with a hard DP. That just proves that like it never goes away. No. I stream like very rarely. And at extremely weird times. And I pick the times randomly. And they're often after midnight in my time zone. I basically stream when I'm like, I know I'm not going to be tired for a little while. And I just want to make some content for my YouTube channel. And people like these streams a lot. People like watching Third Strike and chillin'. Unfortunately, I'm right about to leave. Probably as soon as this match ends, which could be any second now. Aww. It was fun. But I'm gonna go. I'm tired.